There's a lot of news to cover today. Themasius, thank you for the fat playlist. We're gonna get into it. I'll just cover the fucking spaceship thing so we can get you out of here, so you don't have to sit here the whole time.
I like that. That's a good plan.
Okay, so let's get started. Artemis 1 test flight postponed after issues have arisen. What is the issue? Communism. That's right. Why is the...
Well, in this case, lack of...
Yeah, no. Why is the government handling this when Elon Musk, who invented space travel, why is he not handling it? That's my question. Okay? That's the issue. That's the real issue. The government can't handle anything. That's why they never actually went to the moon, and it was fake. And now they're trying to really go to the moon, but they're still trying to do it with government dollars. Not going to happen. Elon Musk, he would have brought us to space because he invented it. Okay, let's continue.
His plan to launch its most ambitious moonshot in 50 years has been delayed. This is the giant SLS rocket at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida this morning. It was supposed to launch today, but the plan was scrubbed because of fuel leaks. When it does launch, this Artemis 1 mission will not include crew. NASA's goal is to land astronauts on the moon in 2025 or 26. Mark Strassman is at the Kennedy Space Center for us this morning, as he has been for so many milestones in space travel. So, Mark, what happened?
Well, major disappointment, John. Number one, 4 minutes before the launch window.
Bro, you can't be serious with this fit, my man. What is happening right now? CBS Morning was just like, bro, it's just space coverage. No one cares. Just go buck wild with that fit. My man's looking like an anchor from a time when women were not allowed in the workplace. Okay.
Window was to open. We got a message from the launch director, mission scrubbed, a no-go for today. And the issue came up during the fueling of the SLS rocket that you're looking.
Like when this fit was popping, people used to say colored on camera, like on a news broadcast.
There's a picture of the SLS rocket right next to it, the thing that's going to take us to space, and you're like, yeah, this ties.
That's what his fit. That's what the fuck his fit's doing right now to me. It's just straight up. He's gonna go home and beat his wife ass fit. You know, like the soup is cold.
Looking at right there.
Sorry, I don't know why we're talking about this dude's fit. Let's get back to the fucking spaceship, okay? All I'm saying is he would have worn this outfit in the original fucking moon landing, okay? To cover the original moon landing, this would be the same exact fucking outfit that he would wear on the same broadcast.
Why do you think they brought him back?
Yeah.
Like
scrubbed, a no-go for today. And the issue came up during the fueling of the SLS rocket that you're looking at right there. And here's what happened. So there are 4 main engines in the core stage. They were loading the liquid oxygen and the liquid hydrogen, the propellant that drives the rocket to space. The liquid hydrogen was the issue. For some reason, they could not get the liquid hydrogen to properly chill one of the 4 main engines.
I know why.
Because it was no chill.
No, because you weren't working on it. If you were working on it, you would have got that fucking hydrogen in there, dude. You would have been like, this is my specialty, actually, loading up hydrogen. I don't know anything about this shit, dude. I swear to God. Laughing at 2H sprinting into the office. Yeah, I saw this tweet yesterday. It's fucking fire.
Engines. And this went on for several hours. And again, just as the launch window was to open, they called the mission, apparently because either they couldn't figure out why the issue was popping up or they needed more time to fix what had come up. But either way, the decision simply was like, we just can't pull this off today. We've waited a half century for an ambitious moonshot like this. If we have to wait a few more days or a few more weeks, depending how significant this is, then that's just what we're going to do.
Mark, tell me about the days and weeks, that period you just mentioned. What happens next during that period?
Well, it kind of depends what goes on out there, John, what the issue is, what the fix is. The earliest, let's say it's a fairly simple fix. A relatively simple fix. The earliest they would launch again is this Friday. They have a 2-hour launch window that opens at almost 1 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they have to haul it back into the garage, the vehicle assembly building, and fix what's wrong.
Isn't that what you guys call it? Isn't that a technical term?
The VAB is like one of the world's largest buildings.
Big garage.
Wrong. And honestly, depending how bad it is, I mean, we could see a launch weeks from now. It could go on in later this month. It could go on late in October. I mean, we just don't know. Well, all we know at this point is that something has come up. And once again, there've been.
Why is there a launch window? Can't they do it whenever? Great question. Go ahead. Answer it. Even I know the answer to this, but go ahead.
Yeah, there's a launch window. I'm not sure exactly what goes into it, but I just imagine it's like orbital mechanics and
whether the way that the fucking planet is lined up, right? I mean, isn't it asteroids like fucking?
I don't know asteroids, but yeah, the other parts.
Things they have to literally look at everything, right? Is it air density?
I would imagine they'd probably.
There's a reason. It's the same reason why they have it.
Meteorological conditions.
It's the same reason why they don't launch out of just any given place on the planet, right?
Well, the location is based on Earth is based on your orbit and where you're going, right? You want to be closer to the equator, you get more centrifugal force.
Yes.
But when you launch, it's based on like orbital mechanics and
vibes.
Years of delay.
You're right. Actually, vibrations, empath stuff. They hire an empath to look.
You heard him. The hydrogen was no chill today.
Yeah, exactly. They look at a lot of empath stuff. Actually, many people confuse astrology and astronomy, and whichever one is the one that gets you laid, that's the one actually that NASA uses, and not the other one.
NASA hired the wrong guy.
Yeah, no, they hire. It's a big mistake a lot of people do, but the one that gets you laid, NASA hires all the time because they want to see if the vibes are in check. Mercury's in Gatorade. You know what I mean? That's a lot of planet stuff. People don't understand. People do not understand the importance of figuring out whether Mercury's are in Gatorade or not. You feel me?
Those are true. I can.
I'm an empath. I can just I sense these things, but a lot of you don't know how to sense it. Yeah.
It turns out moon rock is the most important type of crystal, and that's why NASA exists.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I want to shove a moon rock in my pussy, okay? That's the real jade egg. What? Why are you rolling your eyes? Goop.com. Gwyneth Paltrow. Is it Gwyneth Paltrow? Is that Goop? Whichever one owns Goop. One of those white ladies. I don't know.
I think it might be her.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. That's what they're trying to sell out there. She is single-handedly funding this entire operation so she can make
funds NASA.
Yeah.
Government? No.
It's Goop. Why? Because they want to go to the moon and they want to fucking pick up all the moon rocks so that they can make the new jade eggs to put in your pussy. Okay. Moon rocks are made by taking a nugget of marijuana and dipping it in or spraying it with concentrate or hash oil.
The part you're missing is they're originally cheese.
Yeah. Murat's right. Orbital mechanics, there's an optimal grav window. This is Astro Tiggs. He is the nerdy astrology PhD and not the cool one that gets you laid. There's an optimal grav window in orbit that you choose plus weather. Never planned in orbit, but calculated asteroid orbit deflections. Boring. How much pussy can you get with that? 0. Okay, exactly.
Well, is it on a different planet? Because he might help.
Talk to me about horoscopes. Okay, that's what I want to know about. Not like, oh, look at me. I calculated asteroid deflections. Sick. Geminis can't launch into orbit on Mondays. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of real science that we need to have in this. Okay, let's continue.
Once again, there've been years of delay with this rocket, production delays, and now we're having a launch delay. Not nearly as significant. Of course, you want safety first and success second. And for both those reasons, I think they said, look, we're just gonna hold off and wait until we're more comfortable and confident that this thing is working just as it ought to.
That's it. I like that this story literally can be reduced to space travel is incredibly complicated, and therefore minor problems can cause major concern and major holdups within the process.
I I would rephrase that a little bit, and I would say because it's so complicated and difficult, it's a lot of like edge case scenario stuff. Like you're pushing the boundaries of what's capable, right? If you're performing to, if you're underperforming, you have a lot more window and a lot more room for error. When you're at the peak, when you're at the front of the envelope, when you're really pushing what's capable, what the capabilities of humanity are, then it's a lot harder. You really need to be in a very specific set
Yeah,
of
like
conditions.
the Boring Company making the revolutionary disruptive concept of tunnels.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and hate on Elon. I mean, they're doing great on space
Simp.
stuff, right? But that is the reason why they're having delays. I've never actually seen a rocket launch. Every launch I've been to has gotten scrubbed. Like it's extremely disheartening and it sucks. And the problem is like whenever people are excited about something like this and then it gets scrubbed, it kind of like really puts a damper on the situation. It's hard to make it sexy, but they're doing science, man. Science isn't always that sexy. It's really boring.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the real science, like Mercury's and whatnot. And you had to come in here and be like, "Oh man, science, it's boring."
Yeah.
Murat, can you hate on Elon for this? No, he will. He's trying to. Today's order overrules a Trump-era decision that allowed Walmart to restrict employees from wearing union gear. Elon Musk and Tesla must now inform workers that they're no longer barred from wearing union shirts, and the ruling is retroactive, so it applies to Walmart too. There you go.
Why do you want me to comment on that?
I don't know. They just think that you love Elon now, so they're like.
I mean, like I said, he's contributing to space travel. I can't hate on the guy.
I just wish it was, not the worst person to do that.
I'll take it, man. As long as we're going to space, I'm happy.
Murat intimidates the rockets with his presence so they don't launch. Okay. I know Ben Shapiro did a thread on the current GOP decline. We're going to get into that. You can leave. Thank you for coming on. All right, you're done. You're done here. I'm cutting your microphone off.
All right, I like it.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're back. We're back without our expert rocket spaceship expertise. Is Mars in retrograde? Maybe. Find out more. Later. Okay. So what? The SLS is outdated. Why does it exist? Real engineering? No, we're not going to watch that video because real engineering videos are literally for people like you. It's not for people like me, okay? It's not for dumbasses like myself. Where, like, you're like, dude, this is pretty simple to understand. And then I'll watch the video and I'll be like, this video literally just, like, melted a hole, burned a fucking hole in the back of my dome. It is not simple to understand. It's not easy to understand. It's easy to understand if you already are an engineer or some shit, okay? That was science correspondent Murat Piker with a special story. Now back to you. Yeah. Now back to me. Okay. Back to the real meaty stuff, the real good stuff. This is Donald Trump Jr. posting how large his father's cock is. He says, redact this. And it's just like an incredibly schlubby photo of him too, where he just like kind of looks like shit as always, as one does. You know what I mean? And then he's basically saying, my dad's dick is massive. Look at my dad's dick. Look at how big my dad's dick is. Which is fucking great, honestly. It's great. I mean, I don't know. This is real. This is a real post, yeah. It's just, he's really going crazy, desperately trying to, I don't know if he's trying to get like, I don't know if he's trying to maintain his relevancy within the Trump circle by posting like a Trump supporter, even though he's kind of like, he's the son of Donald Trump. Maybe he's trying to be a country bumpkin. I don't know. Maybe he is like Alabama posting, you know what I mean? It's like, my daddy dick's so big. That kind of thing. But even, bro, this is too far for, listen, this is too far for fucking like, literally, mole people, okay? This is too far. Like, cousin dick hit different. Daddy dick, on the other hand, well, that's stage too far. You know, hey, around here, listen up. Around these parts, we don't suck on daddy dick. Cousin dick only. That's too much. I think he just went too far. You know what I mean? Like, even the most incestuous, like, weird fucking, even the most incestuous, like, weird, I don't know, Salt Lake City commune built by a bunch of psychotic fucking Mormons or whatever, they're not doing shit like this. It's too far. Daddy dick is where I draw the line. Trump loves Trump Jr. as much as he loves his supporters. Exactly. Hunter Biden might smoke crack as a little treat, but he don't be a simp posting about his dad dick. No. Hunter Biden also has a fat cock, so it doesn't even matter. This is tiny dick behavior. It's just like, I feel like normal people do cocaine and then they, I don't know, decide to start a new business, right? They get like good ideas, or they think they have good ideas in starting a new business. Donald Trump Jr., on the other hand, when he does cocaine, which is every fucking day, he's just posting. You know what I mean? It's the worst. It's the worst, weirdest post you will ever see. But, you know, speaking of posting, like daddy, like son, I guess, but not really, because at least Donald Trump is an expert poster. Why are you obsessed with Hunter's cock? Because I'm a Republican. Because I believe in America being a constitutional republic, 1776. What do you mean? I'm no demon rat. That's why I care about Hunter's cock. That's why I think about it all the time. It has a permanent space in my mind. My boy just leaked his sex tape and coke-filled night the other day. Facebook is going wild over it. Okay, thanks. Nice bathroom. Anyway, Trump demands he be declared the rightful winner of the 2020 election, or that he redo the election, or that a redo election be held immediately. So now it comes out conclusively that the FBI buried the Hunter Biden laptop story before the election, knowing that if they didn't, Trump would have easily won the 2020 presidential election. This is massive fraud and election interference at a level never seen before in our country. Remedy. Remedy. Declare the rightful winner, or, and this would be the minimal solution, declare the 2020 election irreparably compromised and have a new election immediately. Is this real? I mean, Nikki would not post this if it wasn't real. This is pretty awesome. $1.2K retruths. Retruths. And only 2.85K likes. Sad, Trump. I'm afraid you have fallen off. My humble boss. My first job, and still the same great burger. Happy Sunday. Cringe. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to say about Jeff Bezos eating a McDonald's, because, like, my man's on TRT, he's on HGH, like, he can eat whatever the fuck he wants. He's still going to be the most jacked. You know what I mean? Out of all the billionaires, it's like him and Richard Branson that are the most in shape. And, he's just going to keep being like in the top billionaire. I'm not talking about broke boy billionaires like LeBron, obviously, or like Cristiano Ronaldo or some shit. But, yeah. That's where we're at. He looks like what? Elon Musk is in shape too? It's just a keg shape? No, we're not saying like a shape. We're saying in shape, like very specifically. He looks like that meme with the kid next to a girl in the class with his veins just bulging out of his neck. Oh, yeah, that's true. He's just a dude eating a burger while fucking labor with an anti-union shirt. I don't really have anything to say about this other than like, I mean, I guess this type of posting, like these guys are so incredibly out of touch and so like they have been deified, you know what I mean? Like to such a degree that like you can't really, with the exception of like Warren Buffett, who's like weird in a different way, you can't really try to be like, how do you do, fellow poors? Like, I'm just like you. At his stage, you know what I mean? Bro, you're fucking Jeff Bezos. Like, who gives a shit if you're eating chicken McNuggets? You know what I mean? You're literally Jeff Bezos. You melt the poor. I just don't know. I mean, it is... The funniest part about this, of course, is that, like, he's just like myself... ate the food before he could take a photo. Every time I want to take a photo of my food, I forget to take a photo of my food because I eat it immediately. As soon as like food is in front of me, I scarf it down and I'm like, fuck. And then I'll take like a half-bit photo. Sometimes if I can control myself. So I guess that's the most like human part of this. He's a man of the working class. Look at him eat that McDonald's. He munches on that burger. Yeah, always. He hired someone to eat the McDonald's trash. Jeff eating the burger like something about this tastes off. Where's the human meat? Yeah. Somebody else ate it. He just stepped in for the photo. No, dude. What the fuck do you mean? Everybody likes McDonald's. It's not like a thing. Like there's no like level of fucking wealth that you arrive at where you're like, oh, I'm not gonna have McDonald's. Like you're ridiculous. It's like top 40 music, okay? It is scientifically concocted to make people taste it with their tongue and go, yummy, yum, yum, in my tummy, okay? There is no shame in admitting that. It's literally chemically created by scientists to be appealing. Except for Burger King, which is disgusting and no one should eat it. And oh my God, I cannot comprehend why people eat it. McDonald's tastes ugly hot. Fair. Not gonna lie, McDonald's makes me sick. Like I physically can't eat it. Even as a baby, my parents told me stories about how I ate McDonald's. I would actually throw up in the car. That's weird. If I was rich, you could not pay me to eat McDonald's. Like every now and then, it's like, you probably are like, yeah, let me remind myself what McDonald's used to taste like. Apparently BK is good in other countries, but y'all are wild. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Burger King is nasty. Your hatred for BK proves you hold disdain for the working class. Motherfucker, when McDonald's used to have $5 two Big Macs, like back in the day, when I was a brokey, I would literally eat 2 Big Macs. I would take the fucking bread out and make like a super Big Mac and eat that. Really surprisingly decent macronutrient breakdown if you just have a Big Mac. It's better than you would think. I'm not like LARPing. I'm not like, saying McDonald's is good or anything. But considering how, fat we are as Americans and how much we like point the finger at blaming McDonald's for that reality, because it's kind of like the face of like, the AmeriFat movement. You would be surprised with the macronutrient breakdown of a Big Mac. think it's like 560 calories or something. Obviously, it's just like loaded with the worst kind of chemicals and shit, and so sodium dense. But yeah, the worst part about the McDonald's food is probably the fries, even though they're delicious. Like I'm saying, the worst L you're taking when you eat at McDonald's is from the fries, possibly the sauces if you're dipping it in some shit, you know what I mean? And also on top of that, the soda, if you're getting like not a diet, but a real, like a regular sugar soda, that shit will that really puts a lot of calories onto your meal. The fries are an entire meal's worth of calories, yeah. French fries, unfortunately, are so fucking bad for you, even though they're so delicious. It's just fat and carbs, but god damn, it tastes fucking dank. So good. Anyway, I'm not a big fry guy, though. Out of all of the... wait, are you balding? Yes, I'm balding. As you can see. Pretty hard. It's crazy. No hair whatsoever on the top of my head. Look at that. Devastating. It's really bad, guys. Potato is a whole food and can constitute a majority of your diet. You're starting to look like a top G. Yeah. All that McDonald's making you bald. My forehead is twice your size and these children think you're balding. No, I don't think anyone thinks I'm fucking balding. The only person who says that, well, now everyone is going to say it and say copium because they're memeing. But people only say that because they think like, oh man, I'm going to get him with this. I'm going to fucking hurt his feelings with this one. This one's going to do numbers. Yeah, see, you are the most predictable motherfuckers, dude. You are the most. I own you. I own you. I own you. I know everything. I know everything that you're going to do literally before you do it. Trump's family dunks on DeSantis. You're stealing our bit. Donald Trump says the Florida governor is mirroring the former president right down to the hand gestures. Drama! It's true. I can't believe they're fucking literally saying that.
Anybody here would do.
Finally, they're fucking... Oh, dude, this is great. Okay, I love that. Okay. Anyway, this one banged. Good job, HasanAbi Daily, for this tweet that or your TikTok that blew up. We'll talk more about the Donald Trump thing. Americans sharing their top concerns for the new school year. I don't know if we should get to that first. I mean, there's still a lot of controversy and a lot of drama surrounding the student loan debt relief. People are malding pretty fucking hard. Nothing wrong with bald Hossie. Yeah. Oh, the monkeypox guy faked it to promote his music. I saw this as well. That one's pretty crazy.
Good job.
That shit's pretty wild too. Remember, Ethan showed this to me. Speaking of bald, did you talk about how Baldy did a I quit message? No. I did not. Bald and bankrupt is quitting? I doubt it. Or are you talking about Andrew Tate? Which Baldy are you talking about? I don't know. We're back. School districts in Missouri have adopted an opt-in policy this school year, allowing corporal punishment of students only in reasonable form and when all other alternative means of discipline have failed, by the way. So we're bringing back corporal punishment, beating kids. Respect to that. Respect to Missouri. That's pretty cool. Ben Shapiro's got some takes. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of like spicy Sydney Sweeney shit too that we kind of looked at a little bit, but not too extensively. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason why I haven't I've been stalling is because I was thinking about an adequate way to fucking segue into the top of the hour ad break, and I just couldn't come up with one. I've lost my creativity. I've lost my creative juices, so I'm just gonna serve it to you. At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. I'm literally like thinking. I'm concocting. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I could not find one. So yeah, at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Transphobia Phobic, thank you for what a name. Transphobia Phobic, thank you for the 15 gifted subs. Haas on Twitch, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 25 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. You can also, if you're lucky, get gifted a sub and not see it. But if you're not lucky, make your own luck. Twitch Prime is free. Hey, Lee, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Okay. There's a new conspiracy theory on the Proud Boys leader Gavin McInnes, who might have gotten Alibaba founder Jack Ma'd by the American authorities, Dark Brandon. I believe he got swatted. On a live stream. Speaking of swatting, Ludwig got swatted on a live stream as well. I don't really like talking about this sort of stuff, so I'm not even going to cover it that much. But it's gross, it's disgusting, and of course, cops regularly make you feel like you're responsible for the swatting, even though they are the fucking dummies that ended up swatting you when they're the ones who got fucking owned by some random dickhead. I was on Ludwig's stream. The cops destroyed Lud's house. Yeah, I saw that. Here, I'll just show you that part. Actually, here, Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting swatted. Rule number 1 of getting swatted is you're not supposed to talk about it. Okay, I don't know. I mean, you're not supposed to talk about it, but then you talk about it. Slime had some base tweets yesterday. I'm going to show that. Yeah, I will show that. But they decided to talk about it. So I guess this is pretty funny. I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, it's pretty gross and pretty disgusting, but yeah, Ludwig and Aiden were in the house. No one else was, luckily, but they've been swatted before. And it's crazy that okay, they checked the yard set, but one of the piggies stepped off and through the insulation. Yeah, I saw. So here's the thing. I've been to their house. Okay? I've been to their fucking house. And the fact that, it's not easy to get to. So the cops, they go through, a gated community. There are multiple layers that they have to go through. And usually when your house is swatted before, you are supposed to be in communication with the police force so that, when it happens the next time, because they always have to send a cop, when it happens the next time. Wait, what? Man, fuck you and your fucking fans? Wait, why? What? Okay. That's weird. When they do this, what they are supposed to do is literally give you a fucking call. But of course, depending on who is the watch commander at the time, or depending on how the cops are fucking feeling at the time, okay? Because depending on how the fucking cops are feeling at the time, they might just go gung-ho on it, okay? And he talks about that pre-watch. Motherfucker, I know this stuff, okay? What do you mean pre-watch? Every Twitch streamer knows how this shit works, okay? Ludwig made steps to make sure this doesn't happen, but the pigs are so fucking incompetent they turn up guns drawn anyway. Yes. So there are dispatchers in the comments in Lud's video why they explaining why they didn't call. Brother, it doesn't matter. Okay? If a fucking location, if the police force knows that the location is a fucking YouTuber, they hate it for two reasons. I'll tell you why, okay? When cops SWAT YouTubers, they hate it for two reasons. One, because they love getting into action, okay? This is an opportunity to use their guns, you know what I mean? And get into action. Oftentimes, depending on the severity of the call, what the call is, what the call pertains, they will either send a first response unit or just straight up, depending on how severe the fucking call is and how realistic it sounds, an actual, like, SWAT team, right? And the second reason why they hate it, though, is because, like, they get their dicks loaded, they get their fucking cocks cocked and loaded, and then they blow their load, which fucking sucks for them. They want to get that action. They want to shoot some dogs. They get blue balled. You know what I mean? It's like they're jerking off, but not to completion. The second reason is because it is a big misuse of funds, right? The police are already defunded. And when this happens, when the cops are already defunded, they don't have a lot of funds, they're basically taking a fuckload of people, around at least 10, if not more cops, multiple cruisers, and multiple cops directly to your house to go and, to go and deal with something when they could be, I don't know, handing out tickets or whatever. So they don't like it. And it's also highly illegal because when you SWAT someone, you're trying to get them killed. Okay? And cops have killed people in fake swatting incidents before. And that is, and for that reason, it's like super, it is incredibly illegal. And they do put active investigations out there when someone is like a routine swatter. And people have gone to jail for swatting people or issuing bomb threats or even issuing death threats. So, be careful what you say on the internet, right? So, what is this? This popped off on Reddit. What is it? We'll do Cop Watch. I guess we'll start off with the Cop Watch right now, technically. This is technically a Cop
How's it going,
Watch.
boys? Originally, I wasn't going to make a video about this, but I figured since the information's already out there, I might as well just post something. At least that way I can make a couple bucks off a wasted Sunday afternoon. So this is the story of how I got swatted. All right, subscribe. See you later. Goodbye.
Okay, so here are a couple things where they fucked up. One, when they did the swatting, they actually went into the room where the camera is. Okay? You're not supposed to do that. The moment that you know this is a fucking YouTuber's house, okay, regardless of what the call is, don't ever go into the room. I wouldn't have even made this video if it were me, okay? If I was in this particular circumstance, I would not have made this video because of the way that that swatting works, like the more you draw attention to it, the more it's going to happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene did this. Marjorie Taylor Greene got swatted the next night. Tim Pool did this. Tim Pool got swatted the next night. Okay? And kept getting swatted over and over and over again. Because the reason why people do it is because they feel as though they can't get caught, and the perpetrators of the swatting want to see it happen. They want to see it happen. They want to disrupt the stream in this incredibly aggressive capacity, in this incredibly aggressive way. Okay? So that's the goal for them. Other streamers, Toast, Stans, etc., who were on the chess call quickly understood what was happening and diverted attention instead of talking about it. I know. I was playing Valorant with some of the streamers who are also friends with Ludwig, and immediately their chat was like, "Look, got swatted, look, got swatted." LSF even knows that swatting creates repeated behavior. LSF will literally delete swatting clips off of their subreddit. It is an understood phenomena with anyone and everyone that's on the internet. It is an understood phenomena that if you are getting swatted, you are not supposed to draw attention to it, which is why I'm surprised that Ludwig talked about it, which is why I was not covering, for example, what had happened to Keffels as well, friend of the show, who has been on an active conquest against Kiwi Farms, who gets off on doing this sort of thing, especially when they get mentioned. They love it. They love getting mentioned. They love doing it, and they will just never stop doing it. So now that like everyone is fucking talking about it, I'm offering coverage to it while also telling you why I don't talk about it usually and why people normally don't talk about it. Do you understand? Hey, crazy idea. Maybe the reason it keeps happening is because people don't talk about it. No, that is actually a crazy idea. No, you're wrong. If you're talking about it today, maybe it'd be safe for you to see grass away from your $8 billion home tomorrow. What?
What's up, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail, or my channel, or whatever this is. If you missed the end of last stream or are not on twitter.com, then you might not know that the stream ended abruptly as I went upstairs to refill my water in between a chess tournament I was running. I was met with the gun of a police officer, which was weird because my front door was not meant to be open for police officers. And so I spent about, an hour away in a police car as they went through my house. And then the clips, they've mostly been a bit hushed down. I think Tim did a good job locking it down, but I think I was still live when the police were walking through. You guys probably saw that. You probably saw the police walking through the house because they sweep every single room when they do a swatting. As you can see,
a no-knock raid? Are you fucking kidding? Yes. When it's a fucking SWAT call, they will often say it's a hostage situation, or they'll say like someone has a gun, so that due process is out the window at that point, unless you effectively communicate with the cops like that. This is not happening. You're an idiot for coming here again. Even though you have communicated with them that, this is something that happens all the fucking time, and that they know that the proper protocol is when they are supposed to call you ahead of time to make sure that this is happening, and then still send a unit there.
I'm not too shaken up, maybe a little bit of adrenaline. Generally, I'm pretty fine. The initial part is kind of scary. But then it's quickly overwhelmed with a annoying feeling, a sense of annoyance.
Please address why this happened, because there are a lot of fucking weirdos on the internet who get off on this shit, and they do it to all the Twitch streamers. They do it to everyone. They do it to most fucking influencers on the internet, because influencers on the internet are accessible. Okay, that's why they do it, because they get off on it. They're bad. They're brain broken.
I'm just annoyed. Now, this isn't the first time we've been swatted. I talked on Mogul Mail before about how
and they go to jail, by the way. It's like super illegal.
And this is the first time it's happened in a while, though. And it was a little different than most times because it was only me and Aiden home. Everyone else was out doing shit. So it was a little bit different in that sense. I think it made things a little bit easier to deal with because only having two people is a lot easier than the police officers being like 5 people come through. to the motherfucker who swatted me, who's watching this, who wasted about 55 minutes of my day, congratulations. You did.
He's just jerking off to this right now. You know what I mean? But I guess the cops are so dumb that they went into the fucking room with the cameras. So, you know what I mean? So he already knew that he got what he wanted.
55 minutes of my day down the drain. Here's the thing about you, though. You got 55 years ahead of you that you are poised to waste. 55 years that you are set up to just blow through doing absolutely nothing with your life. And hey, hope you have a great Sunday. Recommendation, me to you, spin it around. You got a lot of years, all right? You spend 60, 70, 80 years on this earth on average. That's about it. You might as well, while you're here, do something effective with your time. Make an imprint. Be a positive impact. Change the lives of those around you. Now, if you get your rocks off on this, good job. All right? This will be the one thing you do, then you die, then that's it. Pee pee poof. Bye-bye. GG no re. It feels to me empty. Okay? I would shoot for more. But if that's what you want, is 55 minutes of my Sunday taken up, go for it. TikTok does the same thing. All right? To me, every single day, 55 minutes down the drain, it's not that big of a deal. But I do have to quickly talk about the ineptitude of the police departments in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Now, I've been swatted a few times. Every time they come, this is generally how it goes.
He's kind of mad. You can tell. Man, you are, wow, how astute. How brilliant of you. What an incredible observation. You mean to tell me that he doesn't like getting fucking arrested, handcuffed, and had a fuckload of guns pointed at him as a bunch of fucking steroid-addled, limp dick, psychopathic hogs rummage through his fucking house with their weapons drawn, allowing their fucking animals to escape and shit? Wow. You must be an empath, chatter. Congratulations, you fucking figured it out. It's not just a nuisance. It's a really shitty experience, I think. You fucking... Damn, dude. You nailed it. Nailed it. That's great. You cracked the case. Good job.
They take it very seriously at first, all right? 8 squad cars, 2 fire trucks, 1 helicopter, going around. Because there's some made-up story that the person who swats will say. Some BS. There's like a, my name's like Adam, and I'm going to kill this person and then kill myself. Whatever. And then what happens, and I've realized where the ineptitude falls, is that there's a disconnect. Because every time it's happened to me before, they say, hey, give us a phone number and we'll call you when it happens again. Because of that, I always have my phone on me while I stream, right here. I'm prepared for a phone call. The problem is they've never called. Every single time they've come, they've never called. And every time they come, I get a little more annoyed. I'm like, why didn't you call this time? Why didn't you call this time? Why didn't you call this time? And instead of being like, oh, you know what? Our bad, we should have called. They'll hit me with something like this. They hit me with this one time. I talked about this on Mogul Man before. They hit me with this. They hit, maybe you should get a different job. And I'm like, that cannot be the solution.
How about they get a different job, dude? How about you fucking don't do what you're doing? I mean, honestly. Yeah, no. The wildest part about this experience is that, like, the wildest part about their experience, obviously not mine, I'm not speaking from experience here, is the underlying very weird reaction where cops are basically saying, like, you know, this is your fault somehow.
Certainly not. There has to be a middle ground between here and there, but I realize today where the disconnect lies. Now, the police department is a fabulously wealthy group, all right? The Los Angeles Police Department specifically has a lot of money in their ecosystem. But the division of labor leads for failures in communication. Specifically, when you call into the police, you call into an operator's line. And the operators are not a grounds crew. They don't do the dirty work. They don't go to stop things from happening and stop crime and kill innocent black men. That's not what they do. They just answer the phone, right? So when they answer the phone, they'll say, hey, we got a call. There's someone that's going to get murdered at this address. And then they tell the police, the grounds crew, And then the grounds crew, the policemen who actually go to addresses, they just do the thing they're told to do. And so annoyingly, I would love so very dearly to yell at who comes to my house and be like, you fucking dumbass, you've come multiple times. I've told you
I don't know why he doesn't do that. To be fair.
my number, you know I'm a YouTuber. You can literally go to my stream and see a camera that displays what I'm doing. And what you'll find out is most times it's not murder.
He'd get shot. He has a nice house. If cops know one thing, stop saying doesn't want to get shot. Ludwig is very white, okay? And he lives in a very nice house. Cops know one thing. They're bootlickers to the rich, to the wealthy, especially to wealthy white people, okay? He's in a nice house and he's white. He should definitely yell at the cops. Because when you're in a nice house and you're white and you yell at the cops, their reaction changes. I mean, they'll still arrest you. They'll still handcuff you, right? But you know, they definitely if they feel a sense of entitlement coming out of you, they're trained to know like, "Oh, fuck, we fucked up. This is not a guy who we should have fucked with in this way." Yeah, hit him with the Karen shit. Obviously, don't do this if you're a person of color. Obviously, don't do this if you're not living in a very nice house that is like, you know, that shows your level of affluence. But this is the one area where like you can use your privilege in this regard. Because they are fucked up. They are fucking up. They're fucking up big time in this situation. He's so white he speaks 2 languages. That's as white as it gets. All he had to do was hit him with some French, just like Pocket Fent. No.
All right? Nary a day have you tune in the stream and I'm like, boys, today, plan is simple. We're getting up to some murder. It's never happened. So that's what I tell him every time. But the problem is I'm yelling at someone with no power. Right? If you think about it in the grand scheme, they are not the people who make the decisions for the police department. They're not the unions. They're not the leads. They're not the operators who directly deal with the calls. So I'm basically yelling at the equivalent of a barista at a Starbucks that happens to have a gun.
Not even remotely true. Listen, he made this video. He made this video like very, I guess, like shortly after he got raided. And I mean, look, he's got a lot of experience with this. So, but I do disagree. I like Slime's take on this more than Ludwig's take, even though Slime was not there at the time. I think he's being as nice as possible. I'll show you what they did to the house, by the way. I mean, I guess because they're like Aiden showed it.
All right, so this is what happened.
They fucking one of the fat pig fucks busted through the goddamn roof.
Insulation
Apparently,
shit everywhere. Goes all the way down the stairs, all the way over there, all the way down there. And like
it's the reality that cops, even like the average boot, the fucking doorbuster, has a tremendous amount of power. That is the problem. I think I would go so far as to say that the real issue is the guy, the boot on the fucking ground has a fuckload of a fuckload of power. They can kill you. They can kill you and then make it seem like you're at fault. And they know that. They stepped past a very obvious marking in the set saying, don't step here because you'll fall through. Yeah.
this area, I wasn't even sure what it was, but it is the like blocked off area of the attic, like right near the production room in the studio upstairs, that we don't even step in, and they decided they needed to go clear it, and they just stepped on it and made a hole through the fucking ground, or through the fucking ceiling. So yeah, awesome. They just left all this here. Super sick, man. All right, so
apparently they also left the door out, and Coots got out even though they asked them to please close the door like 4 times so that the cat wouldn't get out. But from what I understand, Coots is back, and Coots is fine. Here's what Slime said. First time I got swatted, I got 9 shotguns pointed at me on my knees in the driveway. Thought I was going to get my head blown off in front of my friends when they have the audacity to say how it's a waste of time every time. Put the gun in your mouth, you fucking worthless pigs. That's what he said. It's unreal how fucking mean they are when they realize you aren't some murderer like you fucked up, even though they've been there multiple times while you are in handcuffs just waiting to go back to your day. I hope you get shot in the fucking shooting range. LARPing cunts. That's what he said. Muting this. If you want to slurp every last bit of nut out of your local Punisher flag enjoyer, literally nobody's going to stop you. But I've had enough guns pointed at me, even as a kid in my life, by wife beaters that just want to lock and load, so I'll pass on licking the boot. I mean, there is a understandable reason for why people have a lot of fucking resentment for cops, because, you know, they're just like an unaccountable murder force, and they are primarily responsible for this. They are primarily and predominantly responsible for all of this shit. We live in a nation where there is a concept such as the concept known as suicide by cop, where people who want to fucking commit suicide will literally call up a cop and will have a gun on purpose, even if it's a fake gun, because they know full well that cops will deal with it in the only way that they know how to. Okay? So that's also part of the reason why swatting is like extremely dangerous and also very, very illegal.
Telling them they're being dumb when they are like, well, I don't give a shit, bro. You can talk to corporate or my manager, because I'm neither of those.
Did I
It's
just
like
get
the
raided?
same.
Thank you, Healthy Gamer GG. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. We're talking about Ludwig currently.
Exact thing. So it's like, whatever. It's just a thing that I got to live with and deal with. And if it's an hour out,
My cop dad was shot by another cop at the shooting range, and the guy had previous issues with another department that was never disclosed. Fun stuff.
of my Sunday, it's an hour out of my Sunday. Now, hopefully, they tell me every time. Next time they'll call me. Next time they'll be better.
How do you respond to departments that don't act like this? Not trying to be contrary, genuinely asking. I would never handle a call like this, and we get called like this frequently. I'm definitely a smaller department, about 300 officers. I know there are some systemic issues. What I'm saying is anecdotal, just curious. Bro, first of all, one, you're a cop, so it's going to be very hard for me to describe to you that your sole purpose as a part of your fucking job is to literally protect and serve the interests of capital, okay? Every time you have to bust the head of a homeless person or do a sweep in your fucking neighborhood, you might personally think you're doing it to clean up the neighborhood itself, but you're literally brutalizing a human being who has been fucked over by the system, okay? That's number one. But you're doing that because it's a part of your job. Every time you fucking pull someone over, or if you're a cop, you already know this, you have quotas at the end of the fucking month. Sometimes you are more aggressive with your revenue collection because you want to make sure that you're not, underperforming. That's all a part of the process. It's all part of the mechanism. That is incredibly unjustifiable. It's horrible. It's just you are a cog in the machine, and your output is just brutalizing people for the most part. Brutalizing some of the most marginalized people for the most part. Anyway, you can be a nice person when you're not a cop, right? And you could have even joined the force under really nice, because you watched a lot of movies and you thought, like, man, I want to protect and serve. Like, no, I want to do this. But like, ultimately, when you're a cop, when you're on the job, you're not a nice person. You are a very bad person. You're doing very bad things to a lot of people who don't deserve it. Some of which who might actually deserve it, but the people that deserve it are like, a fraction. And even like we saw in the fucking Uvalde situation, a lot of cops don't even react when it is a fucking bad person, especially if they have a gun and they are legitimately a threat to many people, and only, let out their anxieties on people who are running away. So, it's just, and if you are a quote unquote good cop, you will get fucking pushed out of the force eventually, if not killed literally by your fucking peers in an accident. Because, the entire process protects its own. So, but yes, do not compare your 300-person precinct. Do not compare your 300-person precinct to also the Los Angeles Police Department, which is literally an incredibly militarized and a very brutal force, which especially, let alone, we talk about the fucking sheriff's department, has its own fucking internal gangs, okay? Like, actually, sheriff's gangs. So there is that reality. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking about getting like a nice doormat that says in really long text, "Hello, if you are a policeman or SWAT team reading this, I am a YouTuber. My channel is youtube.com/Ludwig/live. I know it's really long. I've told YouTube about this in parentheses. Please do not come in so aggressively. I will come up. Just knock a few times. Thank you. Goodbye."
Oh, damn. Okay, now I realize why they raided Lud. Bro, it's really hard to find a YouTube live stream, brother. That's why they couldn't check if he was live, because he's on YouTube. Got him. Oh, they're like, there's no directory. I can't figure out if this fucking guy's live or not. Oh, that's great. Okay. Also, they can't really read. They're cops. Come on. Like, you fail to ASVAB and they put you in cop mode.
Goodbye. And then maybe that would work. Maybe that would work.
Because the problem is transatlantic accent. They should have never got rid of the dislike button. Why is the cop in a transatlantic accent?
The people on the phone who are faking the SWAT are talking to an operator who then talks to the people who come to the house. And there's confusion.
Fun fact, as a former gang member in LA, I personally, and in many occasions, cops will take us and drop us off in our enemy's territory for obvious reason. They are ruthless. Former gang member in the chat. Okay.
Along the way. And I can only do so much. This time was particularly annoying for one reason. I will say this. This pissed me off. When they come through, they leave every single door open, which is like annoying when your parents do it. It's as annoying when the police do it, turns out. And so they went through, they opened every door, and guess who snuck outside? If it was not young Coots.
Classic.
Young Coots snuck outside while the police were here, understandably. Because I don't want to be in this house either when there's police stomping around. Luckily, I called her and she came right to me. Sweetheart, thank you very much for that, Coots. Did scratch me, though. This was the most damage done to me today. Either way, an amazing thing came out of this. Okay? It's not all negative, right? We're mostly negatives here. Got swatted, chess tournament got delayed, feels bad, man. But one amazing thing happened, because when the police came, they have to go through every room, right? In one of the rooms they have to go in is our attic, where we do the yard podcast. So somehow, while walking through the yard set, they just fell through our ceiling. Just fell through it. Look at all the damage they did just falling through. How do you do that? We've been recording there for months. So now I get to get paid by the police department.
Let's go!
Which I think technically is...
You literally paid that, though. The problem is you kind of, in your taxes, quite literally paid for that damage. So, I don't... Not only did you pay for that damage in the payout that you're going to get, but you also literally paid for those dog shit potato sacks that come into your house and brutalize you. Because, you know, you're a high earner. So there is that reality, too. It's like a tax refund. I get no interest return on his own money. Yeah.
Is me still paying for myself because it's probably through tax dollars regardless. But, hey, still goes right back to my pocket. Shit. Anyway, that was it. I am fine. I am healthy. I am in good spirits. That's about all. I'll probably never talk about it again, just to be honest, if that's chill with you guys. All you little drama cats.
So yeah, he content brained it, but yeah, the reason why many of you are asking, I know you're asking my moderators, like, why don't you talk about the Kevils raids? Why don't you talk about the Kevils raids? Why don't you talk about the Kevils raids? The reason why I didn't want to talk about the Kevils raids for the longest time, except for the one moment that I did and then quickly stopped talking about it, is because, especially with like Ludwig has a way to protect himself. Ludwig is in a very different financial situation than Kevils is. Okay? But the reason why I don't like talking about this shit is because it's never ending for the most part. And the main purpose of it, the main reason why people do it is because they want to get your attention. They literally just want to get your attention. They want to stop. It's no different than someone in the chat writing some insane shit. Okay? But of course, they want to get your attention the worst way possible. And all that stuff. So, not that it's hypocrisy, but with your massive stream presence talking about this, aren't you worried that this will encourage it more? What about your safety? Hopefully you stay safe, fam. Yes, I know. But it's weird that you're saying, like, what about the hypocrisy of you putting yourself at risk? But yeah. Thank you. You should tell the clip channels not to post this so you can control exactly what you post on YouTube on this topic. Yes, clip channels, don't post this. Actually. Steven Crowder compares uploading YouTube videos to storming the beaches of Normandy. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll talk about that. I love how motherfuckers are saying how not talking about this is making it worse, and you're talking about this is making it worse. Yeah. So if it were up to me, I would never talk about it. I'm surprised when other content creators do talk about it. Every time. Like when Amaranth talked about it, I was like, God damn, that's crazy. But I guess like they have enough protection so they feel comfortable talking about it, whether it's like stalkers or some of the other shit that like every streamer deals with. And I mean every fucking streamer, especially if you're a woman on the internet. Oh my Lord. Okay? Most probably the reason why Ludwig talked about it is because it happened on a live stream. So it was already, the cat was out of the bag at that point. Big fuck up. Big L from the Los Angeles Police Department. So good job on that, LAPD. You fucked up, but you fuck up all the time. But now, now you're going to use more of your resources. And they do hate that. They hate it, like I said, for two reasons. One, they hate it because like they got their dicks hard to go and like, lock and load and maybe kill some dogs and stuff. And then they weren't able to do that because it was a false raid. And also because it's a gigantic misuse of funds. But ultimately, it's a weird circumstance because like every streamer to a certain degree deals with stuff like this. And it's weird because, like, do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it? Do you talk about the PTSD associated with it, too? If it happens to you, do you not talk about it? So, yeah. Can't stop once the hype playlist is popping off. They had no choice. Yeah. But, yeah, the fucked up thing is that, like, when it happens, you're not supposed to show it. You're not supposed to show it because, one, when you do show it, more copycats will try and do it because they're fucking stupid and don't realize that you can and will go to jail for this. Okay? Why doesn't this shit happen in Megastars where everyone knows their address? Because they're not fucking live, chatter. That's why. Twitch streamers are live. They are incredibly accessible. Twitch streamers are the closest to regular fucking and obviously. Fuck. What? What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, bro. Motherfucker sneezed like an old man, okay? Real celebrities also have armed security. Not always. Anyway, as I was saying, also, it probably does happen to some celebs, but when they're not streamers, they basically have no incentive for freaks. Yeah. Usually they do this when you're live streaming because they want to cut the stream off. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ethan's swatter is currently serving 20 years in jail. That dude's in jail for 20 years. And fuck you. I mean, you deserve it. You know, fuck yourself. Mega celebs get all types of those psychos, like stalkers trying to live on their property for months and them not knowing. Yeah. These nightmare people just want to see the follow through of their actions from home as parasocials to the 1,000th degree. They want to see that they affected your life. Yeah, exactly. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so, yeah, there's a new Jay Aubrey video on Andrew Tate. We'll watch that as well. But, you don't think 20 years is excessive? I do think 20 years is excessive. I think 10 is fine. But, you know, oops. I guess we have cringe incarceration supporter. Yeah. Oops. I guess it's really fucked up that the criminal justice system is like that. I think 20 years is way too excessive. They never get 20 anyway. If it's 20, they get out on good behavior, and 10 usually. So when I say 10, they get out on 5 on good behavior. That's what I'm referencing. But, you know, people don't understand. Like, that's attempted murder, okay? That's the way they treat swatting. Because people have been murdered, and people do get murdered during swattings. You get it? Like, they're sicking the weaponized militia force of the state on an unsuspecting, random, innocent civilian. That, in and of itself, is a very serious charge. It is basically treated, and should be treated, in a similar capacity to, at least with the current predicaments of our police force being like a violent, roaming gang, okay, of unaccountable murderers. It should be treated like going to someone's house with a gun, because it is. It is premeditated murder. Mostly due to fast, sweaty pit cops who are scared for his life and shoot anything that moves. Yeah. But it's so indirect that it cannot be treated as the same as attempted murder by knife. Should it be? Shouldn't it be? Takes a lot to fucking knife someone. Doesn't take that much to actually get a cop to kill you. I'm just saying. It's probably a higher likelihood too. Yeah. If suicide by cop is a thing, murder by cop is too, period. I mean, that's what it is. And police know that as well. And that's the reason why they treat it very seriously. Well, one, because they don't like misusing their funds. But that is the reason. This is literally the same as the U.S. military using drone strikes instead of going to third world countries themselves. Yeah. It is. It's like hiring a hitman. So, yeah. To your earlier point, it's not that big of a risk in a giant $3 million house, but when it happens to smaller streamers, it's legitimately an assassination attempt. Yeah. I'll also point out that I wasn't in a fucking $3 million house my entire career. So just, you know, for a reminder for you. And no, it's still fucked up. And it can happen to people in nice houses as well. Not that it has happened to me. Of course, it never has happened to me. Obviously, but it can happen to anyone, and it can happen to you in a nice house or in a shitty house. But if you are, at the very least, in a nice house, cops, I think, are probably good at context and nuance when it comes to like who they're dealing with. Regarding the misuse, don't the cops want to drain all the funds anyway to increase the annual budget? No. They are going to drain it anyway, but they'd rather drain it in a way that is fun for them and not in a way that, they want to drain it in a way that's like fun for them and not in a way that like basically fucking is a fake swatting attempt. Okay. Why does your skin look so good today? Because I got some sun, baby. They wouldn't rage you because they would never wish harm upon an LGBT foe and the world famous right wing commentator Hank Pecker. Yeah. Except they raid Tim Pool all the fucking time too. So. What is this? Would it be fair to look at this in the same way that you would look at a houseless person attacking a random person on the street? I think the take there was that the emphasis on rehabilitation for the attacker's illness. I mean, there is a degree there, right? You're still a homeless person attacking a random person on the street should still get fucking legal punishment. If you're like, oh my God, he didn't know what he was doing, he's crazy, then you're out of your fucking mind, obviously. When I say rehabilitation over incarceration, that doesn't still mean that you shouldn't fucking incarcerate someone who has attacked a human being. That would be psychotic. I am not a psychotic person. When people say that prisons are obsolete, that does not mean, or at least in most cases, that does not mean that there is no mechanism of like rehabilitation or at least like taking someone away from society, even if it's for a brief moment or for a couple fucking years. It's the conditions of that incarceration, or rather it's the conditions of that rehabilitation that needs to drastically change in order to reduce our recidivism rates. Okay? Think about it a little bit more. Anyway, was Charles Manson really that bad? He didn't really hurt anyone himself at all. Yeah. Like when we talk about fucking police, right? I always say that some mechanism needs to exist for policing. Okay? I say this all the fucking time. People get mad at me on Twitter and eat my ass in the QRTs when I say, like, look, there needs to be a group of people that still, whether they're democratically organized and democratically assigned to that position or not, still need to have some kind of fucking, there still needs to be some kind of fucking mechanism for making people feel like there is a semblance of law and order in society. Okay? It's the way that has worked historically and in contemporary society that is the problem. Okay?